Hello and welcome to Tuesday Talks brought to you by General Practice Solutions. I'm your host, Jenny. Thanks for tuning in. Each week, we explore key topics affecting primary care organisations across the UK, from day-to-day operations to long-term planning, to help you deliver excellent patient care. Today, I'm pleased to be joined by Jordan. We're going to talk about HR support available to primary care teams, covering everything from recruitment and workforce management to compliance and culture. Jordan, great to have you here.
Thanks, Jenny. It's great to be part of the conversation.
Okay, let's dive right in. Why is focused HR support becoming such a priority for general practices right now?
That's a great question. Primary care teams are dealing with increasing demands, not only on clinical pressures, but also the responsibility of managing a growing and often diverse workforce. Navigating employment law, managing people issues sensitively, and building a strong workplace culture all take time and expertise. Having tailored HR support helps practices stay compliant, reduce risk, and foster a generally more positive and productive working environment, which ultimately benefits both staff and its patients.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. So, can you walk us through the types of HR support that general practice solutions can offer?
Absolutely. Within our HR services, they're built specifically for the needs of primary care. We help with recruitment from end to end, which can include job design, advertising, interview support, and the whole onboarding process. We also provide assistance with creating and updating essential documentation, which can include contracts, job descriptions, staff handbooks, policies. Many practices generally rely on us for everyday HR support, which can include managing absence, resolving grievances, and handling performance concerns, all while ensuring legal compliance and fairness. We also offer training for managers and team leaders on core HR topics, which can include handling difficult conversations, understanding employment law, and just supporting team wellbeing in general. We've got a lot of practices looking for ongoing support. We offer retainer packages that provide reliable, expert advice wherever it's needed, and just overall helping to run the practice with the HR side of things.
Fantastic. It sounds like a really comprehensive approach. From what you've seen, where do practices typically run into the most difficulties?
I think one of the biggest areas and the one that we commonly deal with in helping practice is dealing with performance and or behavioural concerns. Practice managers, I think, delay action because they're just not sure of what to do and what the right steps are to take, and are just generally worried about the legal implications. So we would help guide them through in a way that's just more structured and constructive, and just helps them deal with having those awkward conversations. I think another common challenge is when a job role evolves, and again, they're not quite sure on how to handle that effectively. But the contracts and job descriptions haven't been updated to reflect those changes, so it can often get missed. That can lead to confusion and can be disputed later on and leave the practice obviously open to difficulty down the line.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
there's of course recruitment, that can be really tough on most companies right now, but particularly practices, and they need to act fast to secure good candidates, but without compromising on quality or compliance. That's an area that we're really commonly asked to support with.
Fantastic. So, for a practice that's unsure where to begin with HR support, what would you recommend as the first step?
I'd say the best starting point is a remote consultation with one of our HR consultants. This is typically via Microsoft Teams. In that session, we'll get a clearer picture of the current situation, where they are as a practice, and what their priorities are. Based on that, we can then recommend a support package tailored to their needs, and help where the areas that they need the specific help. I think many practices also choose to start with a HR review, or what we'd like to call a health check, which just gives us an insight into what's working and what's not, where there might be gaps or risks. And from there, we can work together to develop practical improvements and ensure everything is aligned with best practice. And this can be something that they can have full involvement in, or they can leave entirely to us to handle.
Fantastic. Thank you. So, that sounds really practical and supportive. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we finish?
I think I'd just like to say that practices shouldn't feel that they have to tackle HR challenges alone. Running a practice is already a busy task in itself, so being able to offload the HR could just help them run more effectively. So whether it's help navigating a complex issue, hiring the right people, or just shaping a more positive team culture, we're here to support. Our focus is always on giving practices the clarity and confidence to manage their teams effectively and compliantly, while freeing up time to focus on delivering excellent care.
Thank you so much, Jordan. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on today's episode. If you'd like to learn more about HR support available through General Practice Solutions, head to our website, give us a call on 020 8865 1942, or send us an email at inquiries@generalpracticesolutions.net. Thanks for joining us on Tuesday Talks. We'll be back next week with more insights to help you and your practice.